You don't care what you're doing to me. I've been down in the ruins so deep. All the games that you played, all the love.
Hey, you guys, it's your girl Sherry back for another episode on Grieve, Grow, and Glow. So before we get into the message, guys, as always, please like the video, share the video, and if you're not part of my family, subscribe, right? And also make sure you have that notification bell on so you are aware of when the episodes are dropping, okay? So today is we're going to get real. We're going to talk about how grief can make you sick, right? It's not just about your emotions. Grief can affect you in different aspects. And we're going to talk about a couple, but I'm really going to hone in on the ones that I experience, right? So, because I can only speak from my perspective. But doing some research and just seeing how people that are actually in grief now, I've seen a lot of different perspectives, right? And so I can only really hone in on what I've experienced, but I'm just going to drop some different ways that it could affect you as well. You might be experiencing it, right? So the first one we're going to talk about is hair loss. Grief can actually affect your hair, right? Not just grieving emotionally. You can grieve to where you start losing your hair because that trauma is going through your body, right? So hair loss is something that people experience when they're really grieving. That stress gets all over. And people need to realize that grief affects your whole body. It really does. And it may hone in on specific areas of your body, but it can go all over. And you could be like, wow, I don't understand why my hair is falling out. It's stress. It's grief, right? And so the other aspect besides hair loss is weight gain. Now, I know firsthand on this one because when I was dealing with my grief, I put on 100 pounds. From the time I lost Matthew until just recently in 2024 when I lost 30 pounds. So when he passed, from the time he passed until 2024, my weight was fluctuating. And when I look back, I'm like, I couldn't believe I put on 100 pounds. Now, over the course of my grieving process, I did have a coach, a personal trainer, a few times where I would lose 10, gain 10, lose 20, gain 20, right? Because I was not emotionally ready to lose the weight. I'm just going to be completely honest. Food was my comfort. I love food, and that was my comfort in dealing with the grief. Eating. It was comforting me because I didn't have another way. At least I felt I didn't have another outlet. That's the word I was looking for. Another outlet. So food became my comfort. And putting on 100 pounds, it was a lot. It was a lot for me. In 2019, when I turned 50, I had a birthday party, right? I gave myself a birthday party. I am 50 years old. And let me tell you, seeing those pictures from back then disgust me. Looking at those pictures, I can't even believe it was me. Because I just let myself go. I didn't care about how I looked during that time, right? The food was my comfort, so I wasn't managing the weight gain. I didn't see the weight gain until my 50th birthday, when I actually seen the pictures. And I was like, oh my God, who is that person? Right? So that's the grief. Another part of how grief can make you sick. I was grieving within my body. Right? And the third one is brain fog. And it's so funny, when you're in it, you don't realize what it is. I was so forgetful during this time. Couldn't remember anything. I had to stop and really sit down and be like, okay, what did I come in here for? And had to really make my brain think, oh, that's what I was coming in here for, right? And now I look back, I can identify what was going on. But when I was in grief, I had no idea it was part of grief, that the grief was affecting my brain. Being an accountant, that was my best asset, my memory. Can remember anything except when I was going through this grief. It really affected me so bad, between the weight gain and the memory fog. And that lasted throughout my 14 years. It got better along the way, of course. But those are the two areas that I struggled with, right? And a fourth one, right? Because I talked about hair loss, which I didn't experience, but I know most people do experience hair loss, brain fog, weight gain, and then your immune system. Now, I have always been a person that got sick. Always. When I'm down 2-3 days. But it intensified when I was going through my grief process, right? To where I could be down for between 5 and 7 days. And that's because when you're grieving, your immune system is off, right? And what it does is, when you're in pain, it spikes the cortisol levels, right? Everything is just on high. And so you can't fight off the infection the way you used to, right? Because the pain is from the trauma. It's all over the place. And those are the 3 areas that I experienced, right? And so I need you guys to pay attention to your body, right? I know there's a lot of my family on here that are in the beginning stages of grief. Pay attention to these 4 ways, right? Hair loss, weight gain, memory fog, being sick more than usual, right? Those are 4 areas. Now, you may not experience it all, but if you do, at least you can go and do some research or start paying attention to your body to be able to say, okay, this is grief going through my body, and find ways to be able to cope with it. Like, for instance, with the weight gain. For me, I didn't start getting serious about my weight gain until 2024. For real. I was comfortable with my weight because some people you could wear your weight well. I wore my weight well, right? Because I was proportioned. So for me, it didn't make me feel like I was this big, oversized person. And there's nothing wrong with the big girls, right? Because I love a big girl. I love the guys big. Like, I don't look at weight as a hindrance to anyone. long as you maintain it and you look good and you're not sloppy, right? So it didn't bother me that I had on all this extra weight because honestly, mentally, I didn't care. I wasn't in a space where I was looking for anyone. I was dating, but I wasn't serious over those 14 years, right? So I didn't take my health seriously. I really didn't. When I started looking at my health and knowing that I really had to make a change, right? Because yes, like I said, I had personal trainers before, but I would go lose the weight, put it back on, lose the weight, put it back on. But having COVID and pneumonia in 2021 changed everything for me. More so because being that I was almost not here, but having those hard conversations with my doctor and my cardiologist and just painting the picture. You are 52, 53 years old. You want to live. You want to be here. You have grandkids. You have great-granddaughter, your kids. You want to be here for them. You have to start making decisions now on your health. And so having those hard conversations allowed me to say, okay, what can I do different to get this weight off of me? Because I suffered from inflammation in my body, and that's another form of grief, right? Inflammation flare-ups out of the blue. I could wake up and my whole leg would be like a balloon. Trying to go down the stairs, one stair at a time because of the pain. My body felt like I was 80 years old. And that was a lot of the trauma that was within my body, along with not eating right? Trauma and just making bad decisions with the food. The memory loss intensified because it would come and go. Like there'd be days where I'd be okay. I'd remember everything, right? That was the worst part of my grief. Not remembering. Oh my goodness. Being that I am an accountant and my memory is my biggest asset. And to not be able to remember was hard for me. I struggled. And I'm so glad now. I do still suffer with memory fog, but it's not at that intensity. Now, and I know how to control it, and you can too, right? When you're aware that all of a sudden you can't remember something, what I do is I just stop. And I'm like, Sherry, stop. Just stop. Because I am always at a rush, right? Stop and just give your brain a minute to rewind, right? And then I'll remember what I was supposed to remember. But it didn't go away. I'm in year 18 that I lost my fiance, and I still deal with memory fog. But I've learned how to channel rechannel the energy, if that's a correct perspective. And you can too. You will get to learn your body more intimately when you're in grief. Understand what triggers you, right? And so I just wanted to share these things with my community because I've seen, I'm in a grief support group, and I seen these were the topics that were talked about more recently. And I'm like, you know what? Let me put that on my podcast and talk about it, because when you're in the beginning stages, you're all over the place. You don't understand what is happening at all. You're like, am I doing that? And be honest, you don't care. You don't care. You just want to sit in your pain. And trust me, I get it and I understand it. But I need to just pay attention to everything that is happening to you, whether it be the hair loss, the weight gain, memory fog, or always being sick. See, you have these tools early. I wish I had these tools. I didn't have these tools to understand what was happening to me. Because if I had someone that pointed all these possibilities out to me, maybe I wouldn't have put on over 100 pounds, right? Maybe I wouldn't have struggled with being sick for the 5 to 7 days and being sick all the time, because I would have had the knowledge to say, hey, this is grief within your body. You need to find ways to eliminate, or what's the word I'm looking for? To get ahead of it. You know that your body gets sick. Take the proper channels to ensure that you don't be sick for 5 to 7 days, whether it's getting medication or resting your body, right? Rest. Rest is the biggest thing that you can do when you're grieving. You need to rest your body, right? And sometimes when you're in grief, you don't want to rest. I know I didn't, because I felt like when you're still and you're not moving and doing things, that's when you start thinking about what you've been through. That's when you start thinking about what you've lost. And then the pain comes. For me, keeping busy, I didn't have to think about it, right? It will cross my mind, but not to the extent of where you're sitting still. So I constantly was doing something, running. And doing that, my body was tired, and it put me down for extended amount of time because my body was so exhausted. I wasn't paying attention to what I was doing, because in my mind, if I keep busy, I don't have to think about what just happened. When I go to sleep, it's there for a moment, but then I'm asleep. I get back up and I start the day over. Just trying to suppress the pain. But you can suppress it, but your body going to live it. And so just being aware of these four things that we talked about, right? And so you can channel that energy differently, right? Towards healing. Find things that heal you, that bring joy to you, right? You know that I'm in my glow season, right? And what heals me is makeup, dancing, and this podcast. My support, bringing the knowledge to you guys, heals me. It makes me feel good that I'm helping somebody. Because I wish I had that type of support when I was going through my grief. Now, I'm not saying that I didn't have anyone that supported me. They did to the capacity they could. I'm talking more like I wish I had someone that experienced the grief, that the level that I had, to be able to share these tools with me. And then maybe I wouldn't have sat in my grief for 14 years before I decided to come out of it, because I was stuck. And I don't want you guys to go down that path. I want you to have the necessary tools to start working towards getting back to you at your speed. Just take day by day. Do one thing different each day to get back to you, to get back learning to live with the grief, because it'll never go away. You're just learning how to allow it to be a part of your journey, allow you to be able to be that support to the next person, because you'll never forget your loved ones, ever. You just channel the energy different. All right. So I'm glad you guys joined me today. Again, please like this video, share the video to friends that are going through a tough time that may need to hear this video, right? To be able to take these tools and apply it to their life, right? Subscribe, be a part of my family, because, you know, it's fun over here, right? You guys are like family. I love coming on every week, just bringing any type of tips and tools and nuggets that will help somebody. All right. So it's your girl, Sherry. You guys have an amazing Sunday, and I'll see you guys soon. Deuces.
Your eyes tell me that you don't wanna leave just yet. No, my eyes agree. It's almost like when we first met. Oh, I don't care, it's getting too late. I want you and I can't wait. Don't wanna spend a minute without you. I know you feel the same. So come on, give me love. I'ma show you how to move.